After successfully clinching the National Assembly and Senate seats, members of two chambers of parliament will formally kick off their operations on Thursday next week if President Mwai Kibaki will agree to a proposal to convene the two houses as required by the Constitution. But it's the intense lobbying for the top positions in the two chambers that will for now be the focus before the lawmakers can get down to business. Three politicians are in the race for the Speaker's job. The immediate former Speaker of the 10th Parliament, Kenneth Marende, will be seeking to lead the 11th Parliament and is banking on the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy CORD to clinch the seat. He will face off with Jubilee Coalition's Justin Muturi. Immediate former Mandera Central Member of Parliament Abdikadir Mohammed is also on the contest for the top parliamentary job.
I know it requires somebody with a very sober and level-headed mind to be able to strike the necessary and appropriate balance. But that's what we have to do in a democracy.
And the contest for Mr. Speaker's job will narrow down to a game of numbers. CORD has at least 131 members in the National Assembly, while in the Jubilee corner are 161 members. Amani Coalition has 23 members in the National Assembly, while the Alliance Party, popularly known as the BAS, has 5 lawmakers, while 4 members made their way into the National Assembly as independent candidates. 12 members of the National Assembly were elected on what are described as small political parties.
Democracy requires that the majority will have their way, while the minority will have their say.
In the Jubilee lineup, Sotik National Assembly member Dr. Joyce Laboso has been proposed for the Deputy Speaker's position, while the position of Majority Leader has been set aside for Aden Duale of Garissa Township. In the Senate, the contest for the Speaker's position, as well as the Majority Leader's slot, is also expected to be stiff. Former National Assembly Speaker Francis Ole Kaparo is eyeing the slot on a Jubilee Coalition's ticket. In the coalition's pre-election deal, the Speaker's position was allocated to URP that Kaparo chairs. Two other unsuccessful senatorial candidates, Ekwe Ethuru and Samuel Pogisho, are also said to be in the race for the upper house's Speaker's job. But it's the contest for the Majority Leader's position in the Senate that could pose a showdown from the larger Meru region. Tharaka Nithi County Senator Professor Kithure Kindiki is eyeing the seat, and so is his counterpart from Meru County, Kiraitu Murungi. Professor Kindiki of TNA insists that the position was allocated to TNA in the pre-poll deal, and that should stand. Nyeri County Senator Mutahi Kagwe, elected on an ACT ticket, is also laying claim to the position, insisting that it was allocated to his party during the Jubilee Coalition's pre-election arrangement.
Some of the smaller parties have very few members. You see NAC has, I think, 1 senator, APK has a couple of MPs and maybe a couple of senators. And some of the candidates who are being touted for this position are coming from very small parties. So it is paradoxical that somebody coming from a small party would want to become a leader of majority.
However, Kiraitu, on the other hand, says his BAS party is part of the Jubilee Coalition and contributed to Kenyatta's triumph in the race to State House.
And there will be other positions that will be supporting these other parties for. For instance, we'll be supporting the candidate for URP, for the Speaker of the Senate. We'll be supporting the candidate for TNA, for Deputy Speaker. So I think there's some political logic in seeking a position like this. So in addition to my own personal experience and qualifications, I think the political architecture that should be all inclusive, also favors my candidature.
The Senate majority seat is not elective, and all Kindiki and Kiraitu need to do is to convince Kenyatta and Ruto to occupy the position. Francis Gachuri, Citizen Live at 9.